we got the name, man. And every time we do these lessons, and we start off in the name of the Lord, whether we're doing lessons outside or whether we're doing lessons in the house. We give praises to the Lord all day, every day. All right? In his real name. You don't call him no Jesus, because that's not his name. Jesus is a term that never existed. Ever. Because we know when we go back 2,000 years ago, the people were speaking Hebrew and as well as they were speaking Greek. So if you're going to use that term, which really that term goes back to the Greek word Iesus. Iesus, that's what it goes back to. And if you are a Hebrew, you would have pronounced this name Yahushua. All right? Those were the names that they were calling him. If you was a Greek, you called him Iesus. If you was a Hebrew, you called him Yahushua. So there's no such term or word such as Jesus the Christ. It doesn't exist. So when you're praying in that name, nothing's going on. All right? Just going to put that out there real brief. So when you got these boys in purple talking about Most High Christ and blessed, Most High Christ and what is it, blessed, something like that. You know that they're fooling around, because you know that them dudes, they know the name, man. If Nate was able to go into the name the way he did it in 95, come on, man, he ain't stupid. He knows that the name of the Lord is Yahweh and Yahushua. He knows this. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the book of Psalms 44. Right. So in the Most High we boast all the day long and praise thy name forever. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame, and goest not forth with armies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about something that happened, I think, earlier this week, man. Because down here in the UK, you know, you have a bunch of Israelites that get together down here in the UK, and they partake in this event called Carnival. And it's embarrassing, I tell you the truth. It's one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. All right? And you wonder why these Edomites look at us the way they look at us. You know, you wonder why these other nations, when they see us, like, God damn. You know? Because of the debauchery that we be carrying on with, man. You know? So I'm going to just put them pictures up on the post-production, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. You had trash all over the place. They said that a couple of people got, you know, stood up or whatever, right? Just madness, ridiculousness. It's like Jake is on some ape shit, man. You know what I mean? Just bugging out, acting like wild animals with no kind of decorum, no kind of discipline, just out here like animals. And they put this out there on Daily Mail and as well as other news stations, showing you the debauchery that went on in the Carnival event. Madness. You know, so you got to think to yourself, okay, yeah, these are the nations, they did this wrong, but at the same time, we got to keep it real. Jake will make themselves look like a bunch of idiots. You know, Jake will still carry on this lower grade of a stereotype that Esau's given us. And it just messes with the PR, what is it called, public relations. So if Jake was from a mass scale, if Jake was wise enough, they wouldn't really be doing this. They wouldn't be doing that, man. When they go out or they celebrating something, they'll do it in a reasonable way. But the way that they did it at that event, just plain old ridiculous. All right, just plain old ridiculous. So yeah, man, that scripture is so true. This is Psalms 44 and verse 9. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame, and go is not forth of our armies. And the reason why Jake is putting shame on themselves, I know it's to do with the curses that we done. I get it, but it's all to the point of because they have a lack of knowledge, as it is written in the book of Baruch. It tells you that for my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. This is why Jake, they always sabotage themselves, man. They always seem to be sabotaging themselves. They just can't get it right. But there's a very few men which are the elect, which have gotten it right, and we're showcasing the right to you. All right? Where right now as it stands, we're in a limited time of this earth. And I'm not talking about this earth. I'm not talking about this earth. Let me say it correctly. I'm not talking about this earth. I'm talking about in this particular world, in this particular time. You know, we're living in a short time of this eon, this age. And in this short time, in this age, in the latter days, we're showing you how to be upright. When we go out and we teach this word, we go into the specifics of what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. All of this is out. So there's no excuse for any Jake to say, oh, well, I didn't really know this and I didn't really know that. You did know that because we was out there telling you the deal. But you didn't want to listen. And you'd be surprised by now how many Jakes know about this Israelite thing. Come on, man, if your average celebrity knows about the Israelite thing, the average person is going to know about it. The average Jake definitely is going to know about it. So when the Messiah makes his second return, you can't say, oh, I didn't know. Because if you're going to say that, that means we didn't do our job. And we was doing our job really good. Even them false camps, they brought this truth to the forefront. And then they're going to make this film, which is going to show Jake as the Jews. Jay-Z's producing the film. And it's all through the Spirit because something is going to give out here, man. And we know this for a fact. We know that we're in the end. And we very well know that something is about to give. Right? So what the Lord is doing now, the Lord is bringing out all different variances of truth. All different degrees of truth are coming out in these last days. So that everybody can bear witness to it. Because when the day comes, can't no one say, I didn't know. All right? So it's either you get in line with the Most High, or the Lord is just going to have you to take a dirt nap, man. And this is what's coming. This is also scriptorial. Because them pastors, they've been teaching for so many years, God is all love. God ain't all love. God ain't all love. God is a balanced power. Yeah, he's a power of goodness, but he's also a power of bringing evil when his needs something. Now, let's read. Let's read let's read this again. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame, and goest not forth with our armies. And thou makest us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves. And I can't forget, I just want to elaborate on verse 9, because in verse 9 it says, once again, I'm going to read it again. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame, and goest not forth with our armies. And I just want to say that there's another scripture. I mean, I don't have it right now, and I'm not going to get it. But it mentions that we become an infamy of the people. Which means to be famous for the wrong thing. Okay? And the word ignominy I have here, I want to go into this word a little bit. The word ignominy is great personal dishonor or humiliation. An instance of source of this, the infliction of disgrace or dishonor, the state of being degraded or held in contempt, infamy. All right? And that's what's happened to us as a people. We've been brought down to a lower kind of, situation where we are exercising and pretty much proclaiming to the people that we're not civilized, man. That's the only word I can use. I know the word civilized goes back to Rome, but that's the only word I can use, because we've been brought down low. Our enemies have broken us down so low to the point where all we know is lowness. Jake don't have no decorum anymore. The average Jake don't have any kind of direction. But I will say this though, Jake is waking up, little and little. Jake is waking up to what's going on out here. All right, I will be honest, but Jake still don't got it. Jake still don't got it. All right, but the very few Jakes that's got it, we got it. You know, as the Apostle Tahar first said, and as well as I will agree, we have 100% of the truth. Okay, and a lot of people will take that the wrong way, and that's understandable. That's okay, but you know, that's on them. That's on them. So now, let's go back and read Psalms again. Psalms 44. We are going to read again. I'll read verse 11. Now let me read verse 10. And thou make us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil themselves. Let me read that again. And they which hate us spoil for themselves. So we've basically become the enemy's spoil for a particular point in time, and they've garnered a lot of wealth from off us, our hard laboring work. Even to this very moment in time, it's still the same thing. You know, you wonder why you have these mega billion-pound corporations, or if you're in America, billion-dollar corporations that are stationed in their places, because it's all to do with the laboring that we put in. You know, when you think about this Western economy, it was really built off the backs of Jake. So we've become their spoil, and now they've gathered so much more wealth, and they got a good economy now. But you see, this is why they have to get paid the judgment for the things that they've done.